WC President Mauricio Solomon, thank you for your time today. You've got some news going on right now. There's a first bid pending on what fight?
Yeah, the Super Lightweight Championship between Zepeda and Prograis went to first bid, and there was a winner of the first bid with $2.4 million. They did comply with the payment of the deposit of 10%. However, they are pending to send the contracts, the date and the site of the fight, and we are in communication trying to help them understand, and if they cannot promote the fight, to simply withdraw. Otherwise, there are strong penalties. So we want this fight to get on. It's been a long time with no fights in the division. So
is there any way that is it in danger of falling apart and going to another promoter?
It is in danger.
Okay, where do they want to put the fight?
That's what we're waiting for.
Okay.
We need to have a site and a date, location, and the contract signed. If not, then the fight will go to TGB, who was the second highest bidder, and hopefully we'll get the fight this year.
You're talking about the promoter Marv Nation.
It's Marv Nation. They are hardworking. They tried, they complied with a huge deposit they had to place, but we're just trying to help them go in the right direction.
Great. Well, we're here at Canelo and Triple G3. Obviously, the crown jewel of the trilogy, really. And with this fight being the conclusion of this series, there's so much on the line, right? I mean, what do you think it means to each guy knowing them as well as you do?
It means everything to both of them, because the winner will take it all. Yeah. Everybody will forget about the first great 24 rounds, close rounds, one draw, one split decision, but the winner of this fight will take the legacy of having been better than the other fighter.
Yeah, it should be a sensational evening. The great thing about it is that separates this one from the others. All 4 belts on the line, 168 pounds. Is that something that can sustain itself in boxing? I mean, we like the idea of having an undisputed champion, but there's so many things like, mandatories, or, this sanctioning body wants him to do this thing. Can this hold and be a lasting part of the sport?
Well, we've been working very hard to get to this point, and it shows with facts. And the 4 organizations met, and we have tried to do our best. We have discussed on what to do with unified champions, undisputed champions, in order to have common mandatories, or do something to create that problem. Because if you're undisputed, you have mandatory after mandatory after mandatory. Yeah. So it's a system that has been in place for 60 years. We are addressing that. What happened with Josh Taylor was very unfortunate. He was undisputed, and then he let go of 2 championships. So that is nothing that anyone can do. We are not promoters. We're just hoping that more unified champions can come into place. But it's up to the promoters to make them stick and not lose that great. It's a glory to be the champion.
So you said the organizations were talking. What did you guys do to try to fix it and to work together?
Well, for example, we did a common mandatory with Daniel Roman.
Right.
He was a mandatory for the WBC and the WBO. So that was a good step. That was a good trial. The idea that we are to try to start in 2023 is to look at each champion that has 2, 3, or 4 belts, and look at what's the status of the mandatory, and try to go ahead, instead of committing to a mandatory like a final elimination or something that gives and sets that division, because there's legalities also involved.
Right.
Once you're mandatory, you have rights. But if we can jump ahead and organize some joint tournament between the 2, 3, or 4 organizations, that would give a much more credible mandatory, a high-level mandatory, and the opportunity to a unified champion to do more activity.
Let me throw this past.